What's up, YouTube? George's Silver Hunter here to bring you our third and final part of this massive coin collection that I bought. Today we're going to get into the really good stuff. Today we've got the silver quarters. We have the halves. We have the dollars. We're getting into some silver eagles, and best of all, we're getting into some gold. So I'm really looking forward to sharing this part of the video with you. As usual, I would love your feedback and your comments down below. Let's get to it. So now we're moving into the quarters, and there's some really cool stuff here in the quarters. As you guys know from my coin roll hunt video, God, it was probably a week ago now, I got really lucky and found me a seeded Liberty quarter, and I think we may see one more of those in this collection. So it was just really weird that I found one of those and there happened to be some in this coin collection. But here is a 1997 Barber Quarter. He's listed it as good, and I can agree with that assessment. Good or about good is where that would land. At the end of the day, this probably has more value from a numismatic perspective than just the silver, but it's probably pretty close. Now this is a bit nicer. This is a 1915. Zoom in a little bit. Turn it over here. 1915 Barber Quarter. And I think this looks really, really good for being from 1915. We do have a pretty beat up backside, so that may take it out of the sort of VG category, but the front is just stunning. I think that looks really nice. We have a 1912. Good. I think this one actually looks better than the last one, honestly, except it's got a little less detail in the headband. We have a 1930S seeded Liberty in Fine Plus. I could agree with that. It may even get up there into very fine. But this is a beautiful standing Liberty quarter, and this is the first standard Liberty quarter I've ever owned. So this is a cool coin, and this will go nowhere. This will go in my collection. I did love how the books had some more modern stuff railed in there with stuff from the 1800s and early 1900s, but this is an extra fine, or I would even call this like a BU 1960 or maybe an AU 1960 silver quarter. We've got some tarnish on the back, but that's a beautiful quarter. Like I said, I love to see stuff like this stuffed in there. This is a standard clad bicentennial quarter worth a quarter. And here we go. Here's an 1853 seeded Liberty. And the funny thing is the one I found in a coin box is nicer than this one. But still a lovely piece of history to have as part of your collection. Here is another seeded Liberty in 1854. I can agree with a good condition on this, or maybe even an about good condition. Come on. That is pretty worn. We've got no rim, not a whole lot of detail. You'd be surprised how much this still goes for on eBay, though. You still get decent money for that. Here is an 1876 seeded Liberty. Very fine. I could agree with that. Probably on the lower end of very fine, but a nice seeded Liberty quarter. And the coolest one, in my opinion, of the quarter bunch here is this 1820 capped bust quarter, listed in very good. I would say it would at least get to very good. This is a beautiful, beautiful quarter. A lot of the details missing from the hair. You can tell there's good wear on it, but Liberty's still intact. Everything else is legible. This is a beautiful quarter from 1822, or 1820, sorry, 1820. Like the dimes, we ended up with a tube of what I thought was just going to be quarters, and it's not a complete tube. It's 2/3 full. I think there was like 650 or 675 worth of quarters in here. And again, I'm just going to take a few of them out. Same question as with the dimes, though. These are spectacular. And excuse my fingernails. I've been doing a lot of coin roll hunts, and that dirt is just hard to get out. But this is almost a $6 and some odd cents. Full of just absolutely beautiful silver quarters. There's a 1955. None of this stuff has been searched for errors, but it's definitely something I want to do. But the question really is, what would you guys do from a pricing on this? Again, I didn't realize these were going to be BUs, so I priced them out at silver value. But very, very happy. And it says 1963 P uncirculated, and that might have been one of the reasons I kind of opened it up and went, ooh, they're silver, so I priced them as silver. But these are just beautiful, beautiful quarters. And lastly, we have two books full of quarters. I'm not going to spend a lot of time here because they're just clad. It's 2 years of 99 through 2003, and they're grossly incomplete. I've been talking about getting out some state quarter books, and now I have two sets. So again, I valued these for a couple, $2-3 for the books, and then just the quarters that were inside. So now we're going to move on to the halves. So we are up to the half dollars and the dollars, and we've got some really cool stuff in these next couple of flips full of coins. Starting up here up front with what I think is a really cool coin, this 1822 capped bust half dollar. And I think outside of the green tarnishing, which I think is, again, from these PVC wraps, it's actually in really, really good shape. I don't think they took a stab at a condition on it. But I would guess with the full Liberty on there, we still have some hair detail, and the rest it's tough to see under this green. But this would have to be at least a VG, maybe into the fine category. But this is a coin that's going to go for a good amount of money. Definitely three-figure, $100 plus coin. So I'm excited to kind of get a better grade on this and get a better value. And if you guys know in the comments, let me know in the comments down below, is this like a dip it in some EZS, put it in some MS70, leave it as is? Let me know what you think. I'm going to definitely take this one over to the coin shop and see what they have to say, because I don't want to ruin this coin. Right behind it, we have an 1836 capped bust half dollar, and this one is an extra fine according to the previous owner, very fine to extra fine. And I tend to not disagree. Again, we've got some wear and a little bit of green here. But if that can be cleaned up or ignored, this is a beautiful, beautiful old half dollar. Very happy to have that in the collection. 1856 seated Liberty half. I would say very fine at least. At least. This may even get us up into extra fine. And again, this is one of those half dollars that, this is a three-figure coin. This is a $100+ coin. Just beautiful. So happy to have that. We have a 1908 Barber Half. Now I have a couple of these now. This is probably going to be my third one, if there's not more in here, that I own. I got one recently from the Littleton Company, and I got one from a previous private sale. This is probably the worst condition one that I have, but even in G at silver value alone, this is just a cool piece of history to have, and I'm glad to have it. We've got an 1877, another seated Liberty half, and he listed VG. I could probably argue that it might be a grade lower. I would argue probably a grade lower. But again, even at a G, this is not like a $10 coin. This would go for some decent value on eBay. I believe we've got two of these. This is an 1893 commemorative, Columbus commemorative half dollar, in claimed to be uncirculated condition. Looks like it as well. We've got a little bit of tarnish. I know that could easily be cleaned up with a little MS70, but again, I'll get a second opinion before I do anything to these coins because I don't want to destroy their value. Here is the second one. I think this one's actually even in better condition with no tarnishing. Then we're getting into more modern stuff that you guys have seen before. This 1942, I don't believe there's a mint mark. We've got a little green tarnish from the PVC. Actually, there does appear to be a mint mark. I'm not sure what it is. I'll have to look that up, but I'll take a walking liberty whenever you like. I can tell you these, even in uncirculated condition, a lot of times in a private sale, I only offer silver price on them, and maybe that makes me a bad person. But whenever I buy these in bulk, you never know the condition you're going to get. And sometimes I get some really, really nice ones in bulk condition, in bulk purchases. So here we are with a 1963 Denver Benji. We've seen lots of these on this channel. We've got some tarnish from the PVC. 1955 half in very fine condition. Again, for me, just silver value. And then we have two 1964 90% Kennedys. We've seen these lots and lots on my channel, but always happy to have the silver. So when we get over into these rolls, I do love, and I run into this whenever I go look at private purchases, people will say they have lots of coins, can I come buy some? And somebody invariably has a tube or a little pouch full of $50, and they're very excited about them, and they are just regular clad $50. So this is something that, you know, again, I gave the guy the $3 or $2.50 or I can't remember, $3.50 for these coins. Actually, it was about $4 because there was one hiding. But these will actually just go back to the bank. There is nothing special about these, but I just wanted to show you that even this guy in his collection, he had a tube with some of those in there, and I don't know why. Lastly, we've got some walking Liberties, and some of these are in not bad shape at all. I know it says circulated, but we have a 1939. If I recall, we got a bunch of 1939s. Put that on the side here. It's another 1939. I just can't hold on to these coins. So 38. So these are some older years. Normally I get them in the 40s. So happy to have some in the 30s, especially with as much shine and detail. A lot of these have some wear up the middle, but they've still got really good detail for a walking Liberty. So 37. That one had a mint mark on it. There's a 36. No mint mark. Another 36 with a mint mark. Another 36, and lastly, another 36. So some of these are not, not in bad shape, and they're 30s walking Liberties, which I don't get a lot of 30s walking Liberties. Again, I offered melt value on these, again with a small, discount, just in case I did want to sell these one day, just to ensure I made some profit. But that's how I had those priced out. So we're going to move on. I've got some dollars, and then we're going to get into some silver, and then something pretty darn spectacular. So let me get the next set ready. So we were up to the dollars, and I did on one of the pages, there were 3 kind of metals or tokens, and I thought I would show those off as well. I did not give them $10 for these because honestly, I didn't want them. So I said, it's included in the price, and they took it. But this says it's a USA brothel token for the Red Door Saloon. I don't know anything about these, so if you do, let me know in the comments down below. This one is also a brothel token to Kitty Cat's house. Home for Tigers. That's actually really funny. All night for $3. And then we have over here another brothel token for Madam, what does that say? Belanger? I don't even know how to say it. But it looks like we got a couple brothel tokens, which I think is pretty funny. So we're going to do the dollars and the flips here. Well, actually, we'll start here. I had a great big container with 2 Susan B. Anthony's in it from 1979. I value those at $1. I know there's like a variety or an error on there, but I'm not going to count on either one of those getting there. We have another Susan B. They listed as AU 1979. I'm not sure that carries any more value than any other Susan B. Anthony dollar. We've got a Clad Ike, which, as I said earlier in the video, I can get these for $1 or $2 at my coin shop all day long. We have a common date peace dollar with some tarnish on it. Easiest will get that right out. These I always value, and you guys can hate me if you want, but in private sales, I never pay more than $20 for a Peace dollar or a Morgan dollar. That's not true. Once I paid $25, but I bought it with birthday money and I just wanted some. But if they're really, really nice, I'll go as high as 25 to 28. But if they're common and they're not spectacular, I never pay more than $20 for them, even when spot was at like close to 30. This is actually a really, really nice 1883 Morgan half dollar, listed at extra fine. We do have some tarnish. Again, that could be cleaned up, but I'm not sure it's necessary. This is just a beautiful dollar. Now we're getting into some of the older stuff that, again, these coins, even in relatively bad condition, can be three-figure coins. This is an 1877. What does this cost? Is this a seated Liberty? I'm not even sure. This might be a trade dollar, now that I think about it. I think it's actually a pretty nice coin. It's got a lot of tarnish on it. And this may, I'll have to check Red Book. This may get past a fine. It may just be fine condition. I know in my quote on this, this was one of those coins that was definitely one in the upper 90s to maybe even low to mid 100s that I'd put a price tag on it based on eBay sales. But I might be thinking of another coin. But very happy to have this. We have a Robert Kennedy, 1998, Liberty, $1 coin. This is, I believe, one of those 90% like commemorative dollars that's going to be similar to a Morgan and the amount of silver in it. Don't quote me on it, but that's how I priced it. And then this was just really cool. This is not a US coin. They just had it. The gentleman had some Chinese coins as well, and you can see it's been counter-stamped with some Chinese symbols. So if you know anything about that, let me know in the comments. But it's a King Edward $1 coin from 1904. And again, it's been counter-stamped on the back as well. I looked this up on eBay and found some. None of them had this counter-stamping on it. And I figured with the counter-stamping, it would either make it really rare or it would take the value away. So I didn't take any chances in my quote on this and priced it mainly based on the silver and gave a few extra bucks based on what I saw on eBay. Okay, I got one more little thing to pull up here for the dollars. And it is a tube. We got a tube of Peace and Morgan dollars. And we'll just run through the dates real quick so you guys can see them. We got an 1882. Let me zoom in a little bit. Probably put on my glasses. That would help. We got an 1882. A 79. And some of these, this looks like it's an S, I believe. That is an S. Some of these are in fantastic condition. I weighed them all, and they all weighed out right. They all sound right. I don't think any of these are fake. That's an 1880S. We have an 81 Philly. I have not checked any of these for VAMs or varieties either. We have an 1880 New Orleans. We've got an 82 San Francisco. Trust me, I was hoping as I went through these the first time to find a CC, but we're not going to get there. We've got an 88, was that an 81O? We have an 83 Philly. We have an 81 San Francisco. An 82 New Orleans, I believe. Yep. A 79 New Orleans. And I can tell you guys, most of my Morgans are from the teens and 20s. So to get this many in the 80s, I was very happy. So here we go with another 80 Philly. We've got a 21, I believe that was a San Francisco. Now we're into the Peace dollars. So 24, and I don't think any of the Peace dollars had mint marks. We had a 24, a 22, a 28. This might have been my first 28, and this one actually looks really, really good. Happy with that one. Had a couple in here that look spectacular. This 25 also looks pretty nice. And lastly, another 26. So I believe there were 17 or 18 peace dollars and between peace dollars and Morgan dollars in there. As I said when I started, there were a couple in here I valued at $28. The rest I did 20. And you can do the math on how much I invested in Morgans and peace dollars. So with that, I have two things left to show you. Apologies for the length of the video, but I wanted to give you guys a bird's eye view of most of the really cool coins in this collection. And hopefully it's still interesting for you. I guess the last thing, I had this on the table before I put it all away. This was just more regular circulated coins that I had found like in the bottom of the box and all that stuff. Obviously, I didn't include this on my quote because it was rummaging around in the bottom of the box. But just funny to pick up a coin collection and find a bunch of just random currency. Mainly nickels and dimes. So there's probably like $2 here maybe, give or take. So, as I said, two things left. And if you ever wanted to know why you should not put your bullion or your numismatic coins in PVC, I'm about to show you. I'm very happy to have this, and I know that Easiest will take this out. But I've got an entire, let me back out a little bit here, sheet full of American Silver Eagles starting in 1986 all the way through 2002. And we've got an extra 1995 here on the end, but an entire sheet, full run of early Silver Eagles, including the 1996, which I believe is the year that's a little bit harder to get a hold of. But as you can see, every one of these has that really awful PVC toning on it. As I said, I can throw that in Easiest and it'll eat up in seconds. I hate doing it, but these are bullion coins. And if they're going in my collection, I may do it just because I like them to be shiny. If you think I'm silly, let me know in the comments down below. But I priced these at spot price in my quote, just so you guys know. I know online there's, $5, $6, $8, $10 premium still, but I disagree with that wholeheartedly. So anyway, very, very happy to have this full run from 86 all the way through 2002. And last but not least, this is the thing that pushed the value of this coin collection to the most valuable coin collection I've ever purchased. As I said, some of this stuff, as I go through it, I'm going to figure out what I'm going to sell. A great deal of it I'm going to hang on to. And this is a piece that I'm going back and forth on because I know this is how I can make most of my money back, but it's something I really, really want to keep. So without any further explanation, it is a complete gold typeset. It is a pre-33 gold typeset. So we have the Liberty Head $20 coin, 1 ounce gold. We have the Liberty Head $10 coin, which is a ½ ounce of gold. We have a $5 1/4 ounce of gold. We have the $2.50. This is a 1/10 ounce. And we have the $1 that is about 5 to 6 grams of gold. Some of these are the S Mint mark. So I know this one is the S Mint mark, and I believe these two here are the S Mints. So we ended up with the 1897, the 1893, the 1887, what is that? I think that's the 1878, and the year on that might be on the back, or there's, yeah, it's the 18, I believe that's like a 48. Can I read that? 49, it looks like. So this ends up being just south of 2 ounces of gold. I got a tremendously good deal on this, and part of the reason I did is because the couple of people that the original owner had out to quote this was offering him things like $500 for this gold set. Like the other stuff, there needed to be room in here, and I think I gave him like 80 or 85% of spot price on this. I'd have to go back and look at my sheet. So yes, I got a fantastic deal on this gold. Realizing if I were to buy this new from like an APMEX, I would be paying a premium well over spot price. But in a private sale, I mean, I made an offer and it was accepted. So I don't feel too bad about it. But I know if I wanted to make a lot of my money back, this is where I would do it. So very, very happy to have this. And if I do decide to sell it, it's going to break my heart. because I don't have any gold, and this is sort of the fast way to get your feet really, really wet. So anyway, with that, we've reached the end. Apologies if this has been really, really, really long, but this was a huge collection. I've purposefully not shared the total amount that I spent on all this, purposefully because, you know, I just want to keep that to myself. I did spout out some values, so you guys had an idea what was going on in my head and some of the values I saw online. So with that, I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you so much for watching this. It's my first real full coin collection that I've shared, so I'm still figuring out the best way to do this. So apologies if it was a little dry. Happy to hear some comments on how to improve it. But this was a lot of fun. I'm very excited about a lot of this. I'm excited about the history behind it, learning more about the numismatics, and I'm super excited to have some gold and some more silver in the stack. So with that, take care. And I haven't said this already, but please go down, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, click that bell and select all so you get notified every time I release a new video. And with that, seriously, you guys take care. I really appreciate you coming to the channel. I hope you had fun. I did. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one.